Hello. Hi, guys. So, yes, I know you're probably saying, but she closed this week. Y'all, I did not move. I did not move from here. I jumping straight into it. So, this is part 2. As my goodly sister tell me, just break it up if necessary. I did not move from here. Now, I will slip in that little video. I'm laughing because I stopped the last video, right? Which we looked at last week. And I didn't move from here. I just continued. I went back over the story. I continued reading. And I said to myself, I feel like I'm not done. Those were my literal words. I feel like I'm not done. Now, if you have a Samsung like me, there are certain things that hand gestures that you could do if the phone is in selfie mode to take a picture without touching the screen or to start a video. Apparently, I had done that unaware. So I was just reading, and I'll try to see if my son could insert the video here. But if you follow me on IG, you would see it. So I was just reading, and after a while, I just sat down and I just meditated on what it is I just read, and I said, but God, you're good, you know. And I sit down in disbelief. Only you would swear I didn't read it. You would swear. But like I read it over. Listen to me. This is an amazing document. An amazing book. An amazing... God sweet oh. He's sweet oh. So I sat down here and I said, let me put back on, and so you will see me stop realizing, wait now, this was recorded. It's because I'm looking to start back the video. Because I didn't move from here. So just know, this was recorded on the same day as the last video. In all honesty, I didn't move. So, I read where we stopped last week, right? And like I just continued reading the story. And so I will be jumping around a little bit. Same Genesis chapter 24, we did not leave. We did not leave the chapter. We did not leave the book. We did not leave our seats. So I read on. So now, this servant told the girl who he just engaged by putting a ring in her nose and bracelets on her hand, come, take me to your people. Who's your father? Who's your mother? And she carried him to her house and begged a lodging for the night because, like I told her, the man was he had an assignment and he was going to do that assignment and that assignment alone. When he got there, in the following verses, I will read. Let me just break it up quickly. So from like verse 34, he went on and he was explaining who he was to the girl's parent. I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has blessed my master abundantly, and he has become wealthy. So he then given him assurance, your daughter not marrying into a poor family, her father-in-law rich. He has given him sheep, cattle, silver, gold, male, female, blah, 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 blah. So he explained who the master is. Then he went on to say what his assignment was. So he said, then I asked my master, what if the woman will not come back? So he given them the whole story. Will not come back with me. He replied, the Lord before whom I walked faithfully will send his angel with you and make your journey a success, so that you can get a wife for my son from my own clan and from my father's family. You will be released from my oath if when you go to my clan, they refuse to give her to you. Then you will be released from my oath. When I came to the spring, he gave them the whole story. This is what happened. Verse 45 says, before I was finished praying, in my heart, Rebecca came out With a jar on her shoulder, she went down to the spring, drew water, and as I said to her, "Please give me a drink," she quickly lowered her jar from her shoulder and said, "Drink, and I will water your camels too." So I drank, and she waters my camels also. Give them the full story, right? So now, in verse 57, I'm going to read from verse 56. Hold on. Let me read from verse 54. Then he and the men who were with him ate and drank and spent the night there at Rebekah's family's place. When they got up the next morning, he said, "Send me on my way to my master." Mission accomplished. I do what I'm supposed to do. The girl do what it is I pray and ask God for her to do. I hear to claim. I just want to know if she coming or not, so that I could be released from this oath that I signed by putting my arm underneath my master's thigh. But her brother and her mother replied, "Let the young woman remain with us 10 days or so." So it could be more. "Then you may go." But he said to them, "Do not detain me. Now that the Lord has granted success to my journey, send me on my way so I may go to my master." Then they said, "Let's call the young woman and ask her about it." So they called Rebekah and asked her, "Will you go with this man?" "I will go," she said. My girl. I good. I heard it all. Now that he explained what he said, what I stay in here further for. Verse 59. So they sent their sister Rebekah on her way, along with her nurse and Abraham's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, listen, now this is what got me. "Our sister, you may increase to thousands upon thousands, and may your offspring possess the cities of their enemies." My God, you are leaving to go in a rich man place. The father rich, obviously, the child going to possess the things. That is back in the day. Sometimes now, you just leave and you know. We have some daddies, we have some people who don't even mind the picnic. Never mind, give them an inheritance. So she was properly secured. They still bless the girl. "Our sister, may you increase to thousands upon Lord, may I increase to thousands upon thousands, and may my offspring possess the cities of their enemies." Beautiful. That girl was highly favored. Then Rebekah and her attendants got ready and mounted the camels that she watered and went back with the man. So the servant took Rebekah and left. Fast forward, right? Well, I'm going to go back before I come forward. Before all of this, Isaac had just lost his mother. Sarah died. So you still grieving. Your father sent out his servant to get a wife for you and comes back with this female. So the man had to now tell the boy what's the plan. Verse 62, now Isaac had come from Beer Lahai Roy, for he was living in the Negev. He went out to the field one evening to meditate, and as he looked up, he saw camels approaching. Rebekah also looked up and saw Isaac. She got down from the camel and asked the servant, "Who is that man in the field coming to meet us?" "He is my master." Imagine you getting married and you ain't meet the man yet. Lord have mercy. I don't know. I don't know. "He is my master," the servant answered. So he took her veil and covered her. So she took her veil and covered herself. Then the servant told Isaac all he had done. Imagine them done gone and send for wife for you, and you are now being told after the woman now coming back. I don't know. But I was their time. That was normal. This is we in a different culture. That was the culture at the time. Then the servant told Isaac all he had done. Isaac brought her into the tent. This is the part that really blessed me. Brought her into the tent. Well, one of the things, like I say, is not the only thing. This little one chapter here, this episode in this one chapter here. Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother Sarah. Verse 67. And he married Rebekah. So she became his wife. and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. I read the thing and I was just like, oh. I'm sorry, I am a hopeless romantic. That's just how God make me. And I say, imagine, you leave and you go out in the field to meditate, just you and your Lord. God alone know what this boy Mazzy was thinking about, talking to God about, meditating on which commandment in the Old Testament that he he probably going over and he said, you meditating. You're pondering repeatedly in your mind. You're rehearsing in your mind. Whatever it is you're rehearsing, because that's what it is to meditate. Rehearsing, bringing back to memory over and over that last thing or that thing. And you're there and you just decide, all right, let me go back home. And you're seeing all these camels coming with an extra person. The man leave, he didn't even tell you what he going for. And they are explaining to you, well, I want to get a wife for you. And bring this woman, beautiful, they described, humble and obedient. Bring this girl back, very well blessed by her family, in time to comfort you because your mother had just died. After your mother. God, listen, just commit your whole life, everything about you, everything that concerns you. Let me tell you the honest truth. Well, I don't lie on this channel. I don't make lying a practice, and I don't pretend here at all. What you see is what you get. Half the time is myself I'm talking about. So I just be honest here. Nobody here watching me, and I just only know who watching when somebody message me. So I don't know who really listening. So it's like I'm talking to myself anyway. I read the verse, and it says, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death by this woman that he didn't ask for, that your father make a man swear to bring back. Not from where he is right now present, but from somewhere else with specific instructions. This is where you're going to get her from. And come back with this beautiful young lady to comfort you after your mother's death. And I said, no, this is normal, natural human needs. This is not a spiritual gift. Empowerment to function in a spiritual gift. This is not anointing to function, to be empowered to do something. God granting here. This is a wife. Abraham was specific. The servant was strategic and specific. And you get this person in time to comfort you after your mother's death. I read it and I said, Lord, there are things that I desire. There are things that I want. There are things I feel like I need. It's not just a desire, just because of how I am made up. Things that I need. I feel like I need it. It's not a, I need it. It's not a flimsy, oh, must be nice. This will be nice. No. Because of the construct of this individual, I need this specific thing. And I just thought to myself, Lord, if you could meet this man needing, we just say condolences. This man needing condolence. This man needing comfort after his mother's death. There's nothing written in the Bible that we should take for granted. And I read that line, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. I just want to say to us, nothing that you desire, plan, want, need is too insignificant, too small, too great, too weird for you to ask God for. Like that, I just said to myself, I tell you, literally, my words were, oh. It felt like the ending of a Hallmark movie for me, honestly. I like Hallmark movies. And it wrap up there. Like, after this, I just see the cast going up the screen. I was like, oh, this was a beautiful movie. This was beautiful. This was beautiful. The credits started to scroll up after I read this line, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. I tell you, I started to see the end of a movie. The whole scene, I started to see it. I'm saying to us as I wrap up, like I said, I didn't move from here. And I read the story and I just thought to myself, God, you're amazing and you are interested in everything that concerns us. Why will I not commit the things that concerns me, bothers me, traumatize me, frustrates me, brings me joy, brings me happiness? Why will I not bring that to you? I was doing my vision board party. This is the last thing, and I will close. And of course, I don't do mines in the party. I always do it after. So I wanted to finish before the year wrap up to have it up. If I turn the camera, you will see it. And I had a desire in my head. I was like, Lord, I want to travel 3 times this year. And I tell you earlier, I don't lie. I don't make it a practice to lie. To lie, I don't. It's not something that God loves. In fact, the devil is the father of lies. I don't want no part of that man. I didn't grow up with my biological father. I didn't find him until I was in my 30s. I don't want the devil as a father. I'm good. I'm real good. And I say, that might be too big of a request. And then I thought to myself, but I'd really like to travel 3 times this year. At the beginning of the year, so I wanted to do it in January, but I'm not really practical at this point in time. My daughter has SEA in April. My son has CXC starting. It can't be this time here. We need to be cracking down on them to get SBAs and thing out to have Miss Lady ready for SEA. So, but I really wanted to. I felt like 2025, I need a break from 2024. I just need a boost to start off this year right. But it wasn't practical. The bills were bills in for December. Anyway, and I sat there. I said, but I really want to. And I want to travel for my birthday, and then I'll do the retreat in October, so that will be my 3rd one. But like, I felt like it was too big of a request. And like I felt like, don't bother God with them things. Honestly. Don't hold it against me, being honest. And I did not put it down, I just left it here. Before the thought left my mind, I sent out my Happy New Year greetings to my clients. A video I pre-recorded, I sent it out. And one of the ladies, her anniversary is actually on New Year's Day. And she messaged back and she said, Happy New Year, blah, blah, blah. And she sent her voice note, Nina, traveling 3 times for this year. I said, but what the jail is this? Her next words were, come and go with me. I said, lady, I pick up the phone and I sent her voice note. I said, madam, is this not your anniversary? Why are you messaging me? And she said, yes, come. My first trip is in April. Come and go with me. I don't want to get accommodations. I said, what? I said, all right, Lord. I'm going to write down my thing. And I said, all right. 3 trips in 2025. I don't know how. I don't know where. I have 1. And I read this and I said, our needs, desires, and what may seem like too minor for God to be interested in, God was interested. God provided a wife to comfort this man after his mother's death. That spoke volumes to me. I sat down and I pondered, I chewed on it for a little bit. In closing, as I go on. But before I go, commit everything. All the things. Leaving nothing out. Be specific. Be strategic. Ask God for wisdom so that He could give you the wisdom to be strategic. And you be specific in the things that you're asking for. He not going to, he might if you ask him, Lord Father, teach me how to pray. How to pray wise prayers. You could do that. That man was specific, strategic, and it coming timely. I don't know if in Isaac's meditation where he went out in the bush there, if that was, Lord, send somebody because I need comforting. I don't know if that is what he was meditating on, asking for, and just thinking about over and over and over. Lord, I really just need a wife. But he didn't send this man out. The man had to tell him what it is he went and do. And then he took. Then the servant told Isaac all that he had done. Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother Sarah, and he married Rebekah. So she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. That was comforting to me. God is interested in my life. Not just the things that I do for Him because He wants me to do that, but my whole life He's interested in. And I'll leave us with that. You have a good week. God bless you. Pray specific. Be strategic. Ask. I beg. Love you guys.